by these changes, including automation, artificial intelligence, and robotics. The World Economic Forum predicts that 41% of all work activities in South Africa are susceptible to automation, and that's a staggering number. So as we contend with the structural impediments that are a legacy of the past, we are also keenly aware of the challenges that come with the fourth industrial revolution that is upon us. The digital economy, innovation, artificial intelligence, robotics, and machine learning are already bringing structural changes within industries and labor markets, and all of these at dazzling speed. The seismic technological changes started to disrupt our labor market, and changes to methods and types of jobs that are required by the economy. This summit has not addressed itself to this in any systemic and meaningful way. With the advent of electric cars, we must ask ourselves what the future of petrol attendants. Like the Luddites of the 19th century Europe, the cab drivers of today who see enemies in the Uber drivers are in fact exhaling their future allies in the coming struggle against driverless cars. What will happen to farm workers when smart farming methods are introduced more widely? White-collar jobs won't be exempt either, as we've seen with online banking, which has changed the face of the banking business. We no longer have CD shops in every main street or DVD stores in every suburb. There are fewer bookshops, and I can go on, the list is endless. It is our mistake that we often reflect on these challenges on the digital era without the digital generation leading the charge. We need to rediscover the value of young people in redefining our future. If we fail to prepare in anticipation of those disruptions, our current unemployment problems will soon seem like prosperity in comparison with employment calamity we will face. We must have bifocal vision, fixing the challenges of today and preparing for the future. Part of the preparation entails reforming of our education system to deliver suitably skilled workers in the numbers required. We're currently battling technology literacy, a shortcoming which makes many of our people unemployable in rapidly growing gig economy. To build a pipeline of future skills, Mr. President, our educators should design future-ready curriculum that encourages critical thinking, creativity, and emotional intelligence. We must also accelerate the acquisition of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, as well as the information and communication technology skills, to match the way people will work and collaborate in the fourth industrial revolution. 8 months since SONA and 3 months of collaborative work at NEDLEC, we as the social partners have responded to the call of Tumamina. We have put our heads together and dedicated considerable time and resources in our collective quest for answers to the universal socio-economic question that have stalked the Republic since its independence. How do we grow the economy to create sustainable employment, addressing endemic poverty and inequality? Unlike previous summits, the approach taken here has been bottom-up. I always have to be careful when I use bottom-up because I tend to say bottoms-up, and that can be quite a specter. We're engaging the conversation from a micro perspective. Some of the proposals before us are from companies that don't operate in the sector from which the interventions are targeted. While these innovations are crucial, we must resist focusing on the numbers on the table. We must also factor in that these proposals catalyze growth and change, sparking a multiplier effect with results beyond what data suggests. The Job Summit is cognizant of the full set of economic challenges we are confronted with, but does not pretend that we have all of the answers. But we think that we have some. We cannot underestimate the requirement for long-term economic restructuring. This will be the subject of a follow-up process. We are building on the accords reached among social partners both in NEDLEC and outside. We recognize, for instance, Mr. President, the centrality of finding solutions to the education crisis as a long-term challenge that we've had to deal with. The National Education Collaboration Trust, which was initiated by business in collaboration with labor and government, went beyond merely diagnosing the problem of education, but proceeded to develop a program to resolve these in a collaborative way. Its pilot programs must certainly provide clear signals of what it is that we need to do to advance the sorting out of that challenge. For a low skills-based country, it is unforgivable extravagance and an intolerable waste to have jobless graduates. That is irrespective of the discipline of their training. It is noticeable that some of the agreements seek to address this challenge, targeting TVET graduates for learnerships and apprenticeships as they should those from universities of technology and other institutions of higher education. The three major rating agencies who previously characterized South Africa's labor environment as unstable and volatile, as a credit risk to our country, have commended the national minimum wage and the labor relations amendments as an important step in our long-term development. That process saw the NEDLAC constituencies coming together in a collective effort to find middle ground for the greater good of the country. It is a good example for us to emulate. The Job Summit process is only the start of a continuing conversation we must have about the type of economy we're building, taking into account the pressure and opportunities of the fourth industrial revolution and our location. I believe business has rightly consolidated its place and indeed indicated its commitment. We need to sustain and deepen these interventions as we move to the medium-term budget policy statement, the investment conference, and beyond. As we conduct these processes and introspect on what costs will carry us through as a collective, the world indeed is watching. We can choose whether it sees South Africa that is full of unrealized potential because of self-inflicted domestic factors, or one that overcomes these real and daunting challenges to realize the promise enshrined in our Constitution and the Bill of Rights of an economy that can indeed deliver dignity, equality, and freedom to all. We are fortunate that our constitutional framework remains intact. We have a vibrant judiciary and the exemplary custodians of our fiscal and monetary policy in the National Treasury and the Reserve Bank, respectively. We have a loud and free press and a vibrant, multifaceted civil society. In our toolkit, we now have an economic stimulus package and will soon add the outcomes of this job summit to help us to conduct our ongoing dialogue about which economic path to take. What is comforting and encouraging is the return of due process, not only in the policy space, but also in the nature of engagements among economic role players and the social partners at NEDLAC. We're not devoting all of our time and resources protecting our institutions, but instead able to focus on tangible solutions to undo the damage caused over the past years of maladministration. South Africa withstood the global economic meltdown because of its robust counter-cyclical policy instruments, which it deployed to good measure. Those instruments shielded South Africa from financial battering. Social partners were able to come together at NEDLAC because there is no longer mistrust that pervaded institutional frameworks. The current political environment is conducive to dialogue. Our discourse is no longer dominated nor colored by scandals. Substance has returned to public rhetoric as political noise has died down. The paradigm has shifted from public scandals to social partners collaborating in this job summit and in other fora to find solutions to fix our country. We have come a long way, and the job summit is not a complete answer, but it is rather one of the answers to the call of Tumamina. This process is the short-term curtain raiser, if you will, the stage setter for what we expect to be long-term and ongoing engagements about how we best grow our economic pie and ensure redress of inequalities. We've made thoughtful and well-considered inputs to enrich the process in collaboration with other 3 social partners. As business, we assure you, as our social partners, and we assure you, Mr. President, of our commitment to the outcomes of the Job Summit. Thank you very much.